Alright, what's up YouTube? It's me, Chad and or Rue, as I always say. And first of all I just want to get out of the way. I'm kind of still waking up a little bit, so just bear with me, but I feel like this is kind of a video I more or less had to make. So I just want to talk a little bit about some tips and tricks of what I do if you're trying to either form or establish your own DIY kind of or underground industrial metal rock band or new metal, industrial new metal, or even if it is also a furry core, like some of the elements that I use or that I have utilized, like, are particular to the Spotify literally coined my own genre term as furrycore. So I think I told a lot of you in the past that for my rap playlist last year. But yeah, so if you're forming your own new metal band, industrial metal band, rock band, these are some if you're using industrial elements or new metal elements, I'm just gonna like kind of walk you through on some tips and tricks that I've learned over my going on 4 years now of basically forming a band. And so I might throw in some jokes and be a little bit of a smart ass in some parts, as I usually do. But I mean, I kind of do that a lot. It's kind of my thing. So, anyways, first of all, so if you have any kind of DVD or physical movie VHS collection, whatever, this is just some of them that I've used before. So these ones in particular I've kind of used a lot. Actually, Ice Age I have sampled, like Diego, pretty often recently on my so that my most recent album is actually called Diego. It's called it's called Diego. It has him as the album cover too. So and then the two Kangaroo Jack movies, the original 2003 copy, and then the Good Day USA sequel 2004. So if you have any kind of whatever, basically, I mean, you can sample whatever you want to sample if you know how to produce and program and all. That's why I say I'm a programmer, because I sample media and produce it. And like, I more or less know how to mix and produce pretty well, especially in the new metal, industrial metal style. Or I guess the machine rock / rap rock style, if you want to get really basic. But also, I do have gothic and alternative elements of, like, Alice in Chains, kinda, Nirvana, Typo Negative, Sisters of Mercy, etc., etc. Love and Rockets, it's another really famous one. But okay, so anyways, yeah, so other than that, if you have literally, like I said, if you have a phone and a camera, you can literally fucking sample anything. So, like, any movie, any TV show, as long as you know what you're doing, you're not going to get, like, copyright striked. You're not going to get, content flagged because of Content ID, whatever program or your whatever distribution service distributor you're using, like DistroKid, or there's also TuneCore, there's a few others. But as long as the so-called content is not copyrighted, at least too much anyways, if it's just on an independent label, or you're just sampling a piece of dialogue or something, you're not going to get striked for that, basically. So and other than that, I will say, just my general settings for... I'm sorry, you can't really... Hold on. Just pull that down. Fucking turn the light on. These are my amp settings. You can just pause the video if you want to go over that. So And then, like I did say recently, I did get like a pretty similar to the Korn guitar tone. So these are the settings, the basic settings for that. And then the pedal settings. Sometimes I use the overdrive with the distortion. Sometimes I use the chorus and distortion. Sometimes, like the other night, I was just using distortion and no other pedals. I kind of rarely use the wah pedal, but that's only if I'm like, doing wah pedal songs. So, and then reverb. Yeah, I mean, I don't use too much. Metal and rock guitar in general never really uses that much reverb at all. So just FYI. But yeah, as for my guitars themselves, usually, they're all, of course, they're all distorted all the time, like a fucking lawnmower. And speaking of sampling things earlier, I don't care if it's your lawnmower. You can still sample it. You can sample, a plane flying over you or a train going by or whatever, So, A standard is what the Dean is in right now. So if you can use A standard, drop B standard. So basically, if your strings, like even on bass guitar, it's in A standard tuning, I think still. So basically, if your strings aren't like feeling like spaghetti, pretty much, if you don't have the spaghetti string syndrome, it's not nu metal. I'm joking, but yeah. But yeah, spaghetti strings are your friend for nu metal. Just saying. Yeah, but there are other bands that have used, drops like Linkin Park and actually Reveille. So my new Bleed the Sky shirt, they use drop C sharp tuning. So yeah, I picked this up the other day, and or I ordered it and it got shipped to my house. Sorry, like I said, I'm still waking up, so I can't really talk too well for some reason. So, yeah, just those quick little tips and tricks. And then if you have any kind of like whatever DAW you're using or a mixing program or app, like Dolby On is the one that I use. If you're just using a phone, that's what you'd want to use. But like my friend Gabe Yaden, who I actually founded the band with, he uses Reaper, which is a whole, that's for PC or laptop. So basically it's the whole entire like studio on your computer, or a DAW, digital audio workstation. Yeah, I'm assuming most of you watching this know what that is, but yeah, but like I said, so just a quick rundown of the things that I went over. So physical media and TV speakers, that's kind of all you need to sample whatever movie or media or show, whatever other, songs that you want to use as an influence or a cover or influencing your own original material in the future. So yeah, and then for the guitars, drop B, A standard, drop C sharp, C standard, sometimes even pretty good for that style. But yeah. Most importantly though, drop tune or down tuning is your friend. Like I said, down tuning is your friend, spaghetti strings are your friend. Alright, I think that does it for the video. Alright, peace out, bye. Hope you all enjoyed that.